Good afternoon. Thank you, and thanks for inviting us to be here today. So I am Simeti, Program Director for the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, is what that stands for. I'm based in Pearl River. My territory is the Mid-Hudson Valley. So just to give you a little bit about PTACs, and then we'll kind of go back and forth. The PTAC program is a program that was started by the Department of Defense back in 1985. And the reason why they started it was because they really wanted to have the opportunity to buy goods and services from smaller businesses, but they also understood that that process could be very overwhelming. So they developed the PTAC program. There are 94 at the moment, and it changes regularly. PTACs across the country. Some are statewide. Raul's New Jersey, so his is a statewide program. Mine's a regional. I serve the Mid-Hudson Valley, like I said. There are 7 PTACs in New York State. One in the Bronx, one in the Queens, one in the city, myself in Pearl River. Then there's nothing between us, North Country, up to Cattaraugus County, and to Rochester area. So although we have 7, we are still not a statewide PTAC, unfortunately. But the way we work is where your business is headquartered. So if your business is in New Jersey, then Raul's PTAC would be your PTAC.
In New Jersey, anybody from Union County? Okay, so we don't have to touch that.
Okay. And if you're in New York, if you're not in our region, we'll direct you to the right PTAC. So what the program is a program which is unlike any other program in a sense that although we are federally funded, we are also in a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense, the DLA, the Defense Logistics Agency. So each PTAC has a cooperative agreement with the government. And we are partially funded, and we all are structured differently. But for instance, my PTAC is 50% funded by the government, and the other half comes from the counties that I serve. Some PTACs receive state money, some have a combination. Ours is strictly county and federal government. We are tasked solely to help businesses with government procurement, local, state, and federal. So what I gathered a lot today and about what you've learned, and if I can impart the most information to you in a sense of government contracting, is something that you heard today many times. You need to set your foundation. You need to figure out where do I fit best. So maybe it is just on the local level, the municipalities, school districts, your town, villages. Maybe it is the state. Maybe it's federal, or maybe it's all 3. But there is a foundation no matter which area that you're going into. And initially what that foundation is, you need to have past performance. You need to have been successfully selling your product or service on a commercial level before you're going to, most likely, there are 1 or 2 out there who've won a contract within the first year of being in business. But that's not typically the way it is. So what we do is we work with you to build that foundation, identify who buys what you sell. We figure out where you would fit best. Are you a prime contractor, a subcontractor? If you don't have a certification that we think would work for you, we'll help you with that, whether it's a state certification, a federal certification, 8A program, a GSA contract. All of those things that you're learning about today, PTACs will guide you on a one-on-one basis through counseling and education and seminars how to get through that process. And for the most part, all of the services we provide for our PTAC, they're free. So all you need to do is sign up as a client. You have a commitment to us in a sense of we have to track our interaction with you, because we do have to fill out a form every quarter to say this is how many hours we've done and this is what we've done. But ultimately, we are what I like to say to my clients is, I am your free employee in your government contracting office. And many times, especially from where I'm located in the suburban area, most of our businesses are small. Maybe they have 3, 4, maybe they have 10 people. I have some clients that are big, but for the most part, my clients are subcontractors, and I am personally involved with helping them be successful. I don't do the bids, I don't respond to the bids, but I guide them, I counsel them, I review them, and I help them be their best business person when it comes to government contracting.
Now, when we talk about government contracting, many of you may be thinking that it's more on the federal level, but government contracting goes from the federal all the way down to state, county, municipalities. Then there are school systems, charter schools. All those things are kind of government contracting. And then there's the other piece, which is doing business with prime contractors. Prime contractors, large corporations such as Skanska, yes, okay. Skanska, Ford, any number of different corporations that you can think of, Google, Amazon, they have contracts with the federal government. And as a result of having contracts with the federal government, there's a flow down of what they call of goals. The federal government has small business goals, and that includes veterans, service-disabled veterans, women, minorities, hub zones. So there's a flow down of those goals to those prime contractors. So now all of a sudden, if you're doing business with Skanska or any of these companies that have what we call in the industry, and the government calls small business subcontracting plans, we can assist you with that also. Okay, so that within, at least for us at NJIT PTAC,
Yeah.
we focus on that as well, because that's low-hanging fruit a lot of times. It's a smaller piece of the pie, because you're never going to build a car, okay? There's certain things that you're not going to be able to do. But Ford is building them, GM is still, they're not building cars anymore. But we're not going to get there, go there. But you know, but who supplies the screws? Who does the bolts? Who does provides all these other services that makes up whatever they're selling, whether it's a computer, a car, whatever. So when you think about government contracting, think about doing business with a government prime also. And in that, what we've done at NJIT PTAC is also connect ourselves with the counties. The counties in New Jersey, well, there's several counties, not all of them, but the counties in New Jersey have picked up the slack and are now offering set-aside programs. So we're working with the counties to kind of connect the dots between you and and opportunities within the counties, within the municipalities. Right behind me, right in the back, we have Amanzi, who's from Essex County. And whether you live in Essex County or not, you may want to touch base with them because they have contract opportunities. These are some of the things that we help facilitate. We collaborate. We work with the GSA. You may have heard from Janice and Paula earlier today. There are a lot of opportunities with the GSA. And if you don't know what that means, Janice, can you raise your hand? And Janice can explain to you what GSA and the opportunities are if we were in her session. So how do we do all this? What we have done at our PTAC is we've embraced technology. So we offer webinars. So you don't have to get out all the time out of your office or lose time traveling. We also have on-demand training. So that means that those webinars now go on an online platform. Now you have access to that. We also have events such as these. On May 30th, we're having our supply chain matchmaking conference. And a lot of these organizations that are here are invited to attend. So more resources for you. On April 11th, we're having something with the counties. So it kind of, if you can tap into those resources, that'll be good for you, because although you want to embrace technology and maybe work out of your home or out of your office, there's nothing like coming to a place like this and connecting with us and with other small businesses or veteran-owned businesses that are here in the room with you. I was talking to Dr. John, right? And I made a connection. I said, you need to talk to that guy because that guy does so-and-so. So talk to him, and it's another veteran-owned business. So there are opportunities here. So maximize that. So let's see, what else? I'm lost.
That's okay, I was gonna make 2 points.
I'll admit I'm
Follow me
lost.
for a second, I'll bring you back. The one thing I wanted to mention is, you must be associated with one PTAC if you join us, but the fact of the matter is that all of the services that we provide when it comes to education, so our events and our webinars, are free to anybody. So what I like to tell people is check our calendar. We, REDC PTAC, we like to put our other PTACs that are in the region, their events on our calendar. We'll also promote things, we'll just push out sometimes an email if there's something that's happening that is within procurement that we want you to know about, even if we're not doing it. But you can get on any of these webinars. So it's great if you track, a couple of PTACs to see what they're doing, because it's more information for you. So that's one thing. The other thing is again, just because you're in New Jersey, and frankly, I don't think there's a lot of New York-based businesses here.
Anyone from New York here?
Good.
Okay.
You can attend our events in New York and meet the procurement people in Rockland County. So in May, when I do my big event with all the municipalities and the school districts and the procurement people from Rockland County, it's another market for you guys if you have a product or service that can travel, or it's a service that you'll go a certain region. Again, I know someone mentioned earlier in the day, first you got to figure out how far you're going to go. If you want to do federal contracting, but what you provide is maintenance cleaning, well, you're a little limited in New York. So you have to figure, am I going to go to 3 states? Because there aren't a lot of federal facilities within our radius. So it really depends on what your service is too. So that's one thing where you can gather more information and still only belong to one PTAC. But the counseling part of it is where I find most rewarding, in a sense that this is all can be very overwhelming, and you're not really sure where to start. And that's what I feel best about what we do as PTACs, is we will take you through the path. Instead of all these things that come at you, we'll guide you on, once you have this in order, now look at this. Do you have your NAICS codes? Do you have your PSC codes? If it's a state thing, are you really SDVOB? Okay, do you have the paperwork for that? Whatever it is. So we are truly a resource in all areas of that way. We're always looking to work with more businesses, and I think that you'll find that because of what we do, we are just as excited about you as you are when you win a contract or an opportunity or team up. And Raul did mention that, and that is something that you should also always think about. Who else is in the room at these events that you could potentially partner up and bid on something a little bit larger if you're too small to do it on your own? And so they're not necessarily always your competition in the room. Sometimes they're the people that are going to help you together. You'll each bring your core competency into the package and be able to bid on something that's larger and now get your foot in the door to a next level. And you don't have to join companies forever, but you can certainly work on a project together. And that's another opportunity to be able to delve into that government business as well as to grow your company.
Thank you for resting with me.
You're welcome.
And everybody else. But one of the things that I have to clarify is that we don't charge for most of our stuff. We never charge for counseling. But we do have our May 30th Supply Chain Matchmaking Conference. And we have to charge for that because on the DLA regulations, we cannot expense food or drink. So that's the primary reason why we do charge, but we keep it at a bare minimum so that it's not overly expensive for you to attend. Anything else?
No.
You kind of
Took your fire. So.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
But
all
we
right.
both have tables inside if you want to further discuss. If you're not sure where your PTAC is, please reach out. I'm happy to give you the right link and direct you. And most likely, if it's in this region, I'm going to know the director, or he's going to know the director, and we'll make an introduction for you because we all work really well together as a PTAC. Actually, we're connected even with all the others across the country. We meet with them twice a year to get trained by the federal government.
Do you want to introduce such?
Oh, yes. And my cohort is in the back, Sasha Tuttle. She and I basically are the PTAC team. We are the PTAC team from Rockland.
And Rachel Clantontori is part of our PTAC training team in New Jersey. Any NJIT PTAC clients here? Okay, so that's great. Make sure you touch base with Rachel before you leave. Otherwise, you won't be able to start your car. Okay?
I have to say something.
Go ahead.
I was on this journey for a few years, right? And I have to say this. Thinking that I could do it myself, it took 1 week with Rachel to get the certification done. And I'm serious about it, so I would definitely call them. And everybody else here has been great, but she's the only veteran certified, I believe, counselor in the state,
VACE
correct?
certified counselor in the state of New Jersey.
And
Any other testimonials?
Sasha and I are both
Yeah, I
certified
can
in
say,
New York.
it didn't take 1 week, but VA turned it down until she intervened. And I got it. So-
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you. All right, awesome. Thank you.